Hi, my name is Mike Ward. I'm the Global Director of Content at Informa's Pharma's Insights business. And we're here at in San Francisco at the Biotech Showcase meeting, which takes place alongside the JP Morgan meeting. And today joining me is Tero Silvola, who's the CEO of a Finnish company called BC Platforms. Thanks for joining us, Tero. When I look at your website, I look at the business and I'm thinking, what are you? Are you a life sciences company or are you a software company?
Well, Mike, nice to meet you first of all. Small correction, we are actually a Swiss company nowadays, so our headquarters, yes.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, the main reason we are here for the two issues, we are a growth company.
Yeah.
So we are of course here to meet the investors for our next phase growth. But most importantly, we are here to meet the transformational biotech companies to whom we are then providing technology. So we are looking for the customers here.
Right. Okay. So let's look at it. One. So you started off in Finland, but you've now sort of incorporated it in Switzerland. Is that because of where the investors are, or how did that turn out?
Well, it's a good question. This business is developing in certain ecosystems. Scandinavian countries are doing a lot. UK is definitely leading in the Europe. Then in Switzerland, you have the major pharma located there. US, Boston and San Francisco Bay Area is very important. In Asia, Singapore as well. Even though we are a small company, we need to be present in these ecosystems.
Right. So could you sort of explain to the viewers exactly what it is that you're offering to the life sciences industry?
BC Platform stands for biocomputing.
Right.
And biocomputing is all about integration of genomic data together with the clinical data.
Yeah.
And that technology then enables a lot. For example, pharmaceutical companies collaborating with the biobanks are then able to speed up their R&D processes. And it's all about money in the process itself.
Yeah. So what you're doing, you're collecting the data, you're curating the data. How does that work?
Well, to simplify the process, we start by collecting the genome data from different types of devices, whether it's Illumina or whether it's another vendor.
Right.
And then it's very important to get connected with the electronic patient record data. So most probably that information is coming from clinical data repositories and EMR type of systems.
Right.
Then you have to connect the platform to public data repositories, annotation databases,
right,
and enable very fast analytics then on top of that.
Right. So, what is it? I mean, how come you guys are actually the ones who are at that interface between the sort of the collection of the data and the actual sort of, I guess, the handling of that data?
It's a good question. I think biobanks are giving a good example for it. So many of the biobanks were focusing only on sample collection before, but so to say, the second generation biobanks are now working more with the living data. They also want to bring in clinical information, and they use our platform to handle it. And then again, pharmaceutical companies need that database to do stratified medicine programs and gene silencing programs for their drug identification work. So we are basically a data broker between the clinical and genome content towards the pharma.
Right. So what is it that's a key asset then that you guys have got that allows you to be that data broker, as you described it?
There are four key elements that are important for our buyers. One is of course data security, so that information has to be secured in all different continents. And we've been working now in 18 countries, so we know the rules and regulations globally. The second one is the actual data integration capabilities. Systems are very versatile, and a provider like us has to know how these systems are actually working. Then the third one, which is really important, is the capability to handle massive data sets. So biggest databases and systems we have, they exceed the level of 10 petabytes. So to make it very effective requires a lot from the system.
Right. Okay. And the approach, I mean, where did it originate?
Well, of course, for us, it originates. We sell our systems license-based and SaaS-based, but then again, for our customers, it will help them to do, for example, drug identification work in a very systematic and holistic way. So if there would be a strong biotech company or pharma company that is working with us, they can have one interface to all these biobanks with whom they are working globally.
Right. And do you have exclusive relationships with these biobanks, or why would somebody come to BC Platform rather than somebody else who could maybe offer the same sort of service?
Yeah, we've gone a long way. The company was started in 1997, and our founder was working in Eric Lander's group in MIT and Broad Institute.
Right.
And since then, the company has collected quite tremendous amount of experience from different places.
Right.
So with us, they know that they are going to get what they are supposed to have in a very good lead time. So I think it is the experience that they are looking at, and then the trust is always the issue. This is a closed ecosystem, and it's a reputation business. So if you are successful in the deliveries, then the customers hear about it.
Okay, so if we sort of think about it, so you at the moment we're still in sort of like the data collection phase, are we, for this industry?
Indeed, yeah.
So what? How long are we going to be collecting data, and what's the next step?
Well, I think it's going to continue. The data collection is going to continue basically forever because the science develops. But you are right in that sense that also in our business plan, the data collection part is the first one, and then actually the next part is more or less the data utilization phase in the business development, and that's also one of the reasons why we are here.
Right. And how far have you got in sort of developing that offering?
So we have done the first product launch in 2016. So basically now we are getting closer to the knowledge business itself.
Right.
So we are moving away, not away, but complementing our software business with this, so to say, knowledge approach.
Okay. So what would a normal customer look like? I mean, how if I was a biotech CEO, how developed my assets have to be for you to be useful?
Well, I think there are so many different type of customers. We scale from very small to very large. So on the other side, we work with major pharmaceutical companies, and then again, we like to walk the development pathway with the smaller clients from the beginning. So it might be just a small startup with whom we go ahead, or then on the other side, it can be a big one.
And when you're dealing with these customers, what is it you're offering? Because of course, in the whole R&D process, it's long and drawn out potentially. It's very costly. I mean, what impact do you have on the economics of research and development?
Okay, I think it's the R&D process is of course very long, but for us the most important pieces in it is the beginning. So basically the target identification work, and then the latter part of the actual R&D process. So that will establish the loop in the actual R&D process, but in between we are not so much involved.
Right. And what sort of partners do you have? What sort of partnerships have you developed so far?
Okay. Our company history is very much in the academics in the beginning, so we have been very privileged to work with the leading institutions globally. So 60% of the customers are located in North America and 40% of the customers are in Europe. Harvard, Johns Hopkins, Colorado University, those as an example from the academic side. And then again, big pharma players and companies that typically they are not disclosed. But I think we have a quite good, solid customer base now in both key continents.
With academic groups, so you're helping them process all the data, handling all that data.
Yeah, so when I refer to academic, I usually refer to the biobanks, to those organizations that want to collect the data and use it in collaboration programs together with Pharma.
And what about sort of commercial partnerships? I mean, do you have any sort of big pharma partners at the moment?
Yeah, so if you look our total of revenue breakdown at the moment, two-thirds of the customers are commercial and industrial, and one-third are more or less publicly driven. So that is the distribution of the revenues.
Okay. And so you sort of said the company was founded in 1997, which is when I guess bioinformatics kind of began to kick off, once the sort of the human genome program was, the dust was settling on that. How has the company financed itself over that period of time, and are you looking to move into a different phase by raising more money?
Yes, indeed, many things have happened during these past years. The company had the philosophy that we want to grow organically and with our own funding. So over the years, company has been healthy and profitable. But now we see the industry shaping so fast that we want to invest more, and we want to take also risk in capturing the market share. So PC Platforms executed a financing round during 2015 and also relocated the headquarters during that time in Switzerland.
How much did you raise?
Well, that's the information is not disclosed.
All right, okay.
So we did that for the first phase, and now we are starting to build the second phase for the growth, and that links to this knowledge business.
Right, and you sort of say sort of taking the stake. I mean, would you be interested in actually getting involved in drug development itself and actually sort of taking a stake in partners?
No, we would not be in the drug development itself, but we would enable things a little bit further in the process.
Okay, all right. Okay, so well, good luck with the with what you're doing. Thanks for stopping by. Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye bye.